Urgent San Francisco 49ers fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest San Francisco 49ers updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, folks, today we've got some intriguing updates that could have a major impact on our beloved San Francisco 49ers. We're diving deep into the latest developments surrounding the team's pass rush position, which has been a hot topic all offseason. Now, if you've been paying attention, you know that the edge rusher position has been a bit of a quiet zone for the Niners this offseason. Not much movement, not many big-name signings, at least not yet. But believe me, the pieces are starting to come together, and what's happening behind the scenes could be a game-changer for us in the upcoming season. Let's start by talking about the NFL draft, because that's where the 49ers made their move. General Manager John Lynch, a guy known for his shrewd drafting, selected Georgia's talented pass rusher Michael Williams in the first round. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's exciting. An elite pass rusher on the team. But here's the twist, recent comments from head coach Kyle Shanahan have many fans scratching their heads. Shanahan hinted that Williams might initially line up on the interior defensive line, rather than at outside linebacker or defensive end. That's a significant detail because it signals that the team might be thinking more about versatility and depth rather than expecting Williams to be a day-one starter on the edge. This move leaves the 49ers with a bit of a conundrum. Behind star defensive end Nick Bosa, who's arguably the best at his position in the league, there's a noticeable drop-off in production and experience. When you look at the roster, the depth chart isn't quite as stacked as we'd like to see, especially considering the high standards and expectations the team carries each season. The team's recent history has shown that having a formidable pass rush is crucial. It's the backbone of a championship defense, and right now, there are some gaps that need filling. This brings us to the notable loss of Leonard Floyd, who departed for the Atlanta Falcons on a one-year, $10 million deal. Floyd was a key piece of the 49ers' pass rush puzzle last year, providing both experience and production. His ability to get after the quarterback and create pressure was vital, especially when Bosa was double-teamed or occasionally sidelined by injuries. Now, with Floyd gone, the team is looking at a void that must be addressed. And that's where the rumors and reports about veteran edge rushers come into play. One of the most talked about names in NFL circles this offseason has been Jadeveon Clowney. If you followed his career, you know he's been one of the most disruptive defenders when healthy, capable of making game-changing plays. The thing is, Clowney has been on the move quite a bit over the past few seasons. After being the first overall pick in the 2014 draft, he spent time with various teams: Houston Texans, Seattle Seahawks, Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, and Baltimore Ravens, before landing in Carolina last year. Now, the Panthers, who are in a bit of a rebuilding phase on their defensive line, recently released Clowney, making him a free agent. The Panthers, in their youth movement, have been drafting and developing young talent, like Nick Scourton and Princely Umanmielen. That signals a shift towards more youthful, developmental players on the D-line, which is typical for a team in rebuild mode. But Clowney, even at 32, remains a player who can bring veteran leadership, steady production, and a disruptive presence. Last year, he logged 5 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, and 15 quarterback hits in just 14 games, impressive numbers considering the circumstances. Here's the interesting part, Clowney's stats last season actually outperformed Floyd in several key areas, especially in hurry, hit, and pressure rates. That suggests he's still got something left in the tank and could be a real upgrade, especially if the 49ers decide to bring him in and give him a role. He's not necessarily an every-down player at this stage of his career, but rotating him in crucial situations and on passing downs could alleviate some of the pressure on Nick Bosa and create a more dynamic, unpredictable pass rush. Now, let's talk about Clowney's durability because that's always a concern with veteran players. The good news is, he's been remarkably consistent in staying healthy, playing at least 10 games in each of the last 4 seasons. That kind of reliability is exactly what the 49ers need, especially as they look to bolster their defense for another Super Bowl run. With injuries being an unpredictable part of football, having a seasoned veteran who can step in and contribute consistently is invaluable. And, of course, Clowney's experience is a major asset. He's played for multiple teams, faced a variety of offensive schemes, and has been a dominant force at times in his career. Remember his days with the Houston Texans? His explosive plays, his ability to collapse the pocket, those are qualities that can still be harnessed effectively in San Francisco's scheme. Plus, with Robert Saleh's defensive philosophy, which emphasizes relentless pressure and aggressive line play, Clowney could fit right in. There's also some context here about Clowney's current market status. He's entering his 12th NFL season, and if he signs with a new team next year, it will be his 7th different team. That's quite a journey, but it also shows his adaptability and the respect he commands across the league. Recently, he was considered a potential trade target during the draft week, which indicates there's still significant interest in his services. And now, with the Panthers releasing him to free up cap space, the door is open for teams like ours to make a push. If the 49ers do decide to pursue Clowney, it wouldn't just be about filling a roster spot, it would be about adding leadership, veteran know-how, and a proven pass rush presence that could elevate the entire defense. And let's be honest, with the NFL becoming more pass-oriented every season, having a healthy, disruptive edge rusher who can produce pressure in key moments is almost non-negotiable for a title-contending team. That's exactly what Clowney can bring if he's given the opportunity. Now, you might be wondering, what about the team's draft strategy? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the team's focus seems to be on drafting versatile players like Michael Williams, who could develop into a key piece down the line. But drafting is just part of the puzzle. Adding experienced veterans like Clowney could be the piece that makes the difference in the short term. It's about balancing youth with experience, and San Francisco has always been smart about that. They want players who can contribute immediately but also develop into long-term solutions. The 49ers have a history of building a tough, relentless defense, and that identity has been a cornerstone of their success under Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. The addition of a veteran pass rusher like Clowney could reinforce that identity and help them take the next step toward a deep playoff run. Remember, last season, the defense was already among the league's best, but a little extra pass rush juice never hurts. It can be the difference between a good defense and a truly dominant one, especially when it comes to creating turnovers and pressuring the quarterback into mistakes. And speaking of the quarterback, the NFL's best teams are those that can consistently pressure the opposing passer. Whether it's Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, or Burrow, the pressure up front is what often determines the outcome of games. The 49ers, with Bosa leading the charge, already have a formidable front, but adding a seasoned veteran like Clowney could turn that pressure into relentless, game-changing force that opponents struggle to handle. It would also allow Bosa to get more one-on-one opportunities, which is crucial for maximizing his sack potential. Now, looking ahead, what's the realistic timeline? Well, Clowney is a free agent, and if the 49ers or any other team decide to sign him, it could happen pretty quickly. The NFL offseason is winding down, and teams are ramping up their training camps and roster finalizations. If San Francisco sees the value in Clowney's experience and skill set, expect some news soon. This could be a low-risk, high-reward move that pays dividends during the season, especially in the high-stakes moments when having a veteran who understands how to get after the quarterback can make all the difference. Of course, fans are always eager to see what the team does next. There's a lot of excitement about the young players and the new draft picks, but don't overlook the importance of veteran leadership and proven production. Sometimes, a single signing can shift the entire defensive dynamic and give the team that extra edge it needs to reach the Super Bowl. The 49ers have a talented roster, but adding a player like Clowney could be the last piece that puts them over the top. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. Do you think Clowney is the missing piece? Are you excited about the draft picks and the potential new faces on the D-line? Or do you believe the team should look elsewhere? Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to share them. We love hearing from you. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. We're in the middle of a fascinating offseason, and the future looks bright, especially if the team makes smart moves like bringing in a seasoned veteran who can help bridge the gap between now and the next championship window. In the end, the San Francisco 49ers are always about resilience, smart strategy, and relentless pursuit of greatness. Whether it's through the draft, free agency, or developing their internal talent, the goal remains the same: building a team that can not only compete but dominate in the NFL. So, keep your eyes peeled, stay engaged, and let's see what the next chapter holds for this incredible franchise. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Niners!